What's going on? YouTube, listen up, young elder gang. This is Dr. Jamie Strokes, Shalonda's sister at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, fam. I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes in this video. You will find history, definitions, scripture information, and best of all, what we Americans have been deprived of. From the beginning. The truth, keep in mind, this content used in this video is intended for entertainment, educational and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth as we best understand it today. Be sure to hit that like button. Young Elder Gang, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit that bell. And don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. There are stories that live in the dark. Tales that whisper of a world just beneath our own, a world we choose to ignore. We walk our sunlit streets, convinced of our safety, but this belief is a fragile shield. The truth waits in the cold earth below, an ancient hunger, a presence that has watched us for millennia, not as a guardian, but as a predator. Imagine a creature, reptilian and alien, born of a dying star, traveling across the void in search of a new hunting ground. They found us. They are the Vril. Parasitic, intelligent, and patient, the Vril are architects of a silent invasion that began long before we ever looked to the stars. Their conquest is insidious, fought not on battlefields, but within the minds and bodies of humans. Politicians, celebrities, leaders, anyone with influence is a target. Their bodies become vessels, puppets controlled by an ancient evil. We see the coldness in their eyes, dismiss it as stress, and ignore the signs. But the Vril are already inside the gates. We are not alone. And that is the most terrifying reality of all. The Vril did not settle on the surface. They burrowed deep, creating a hidden empire within a hollow earth. In the twilight of subterranean caverns, they built a society powered by a mysterious force, Vril energy. This energy heals and destroys. It is the lifeblood of their civilization. They communicate through telepathy, move objects with their minds, and see humanity as nothing more than hosts. Whispers of their existence echo through history. Occult obsessions, secret societies, and the infamous Vril Society of Nazi Germany. The Black Eye Club, where influential people appear with bruised eyes, is no coincidence. It is the mark of the droning process, the scar left when a human soul is replaced by a Vril parasite. These are the warnings of a secret war for the soul of our planet. We are losing because we do not even know it has begun. The signs are all around us if we dare to look. The Vril are patient, their infiltration relentless. Our ignorance is their greatest weapon. The abyss whispers, and its voice grows louder every day. The Vril story begins in the cold blackness of space on a planet called Sori, 8 to 9 light years away from Earth, that orbited the star you call Sirius B. The Vril, before they became known as the Vril, were Saurians, who are descendants of the original Naga upright walking beings who originated from Earth billions of years ago, which was called Tiamat. They say their ancestors walked alone side the dinosaurs and lived past the cataclysm that killed the dinosaurs because they had dug advanced tunnel systems underground. Later, some of their ancestors were taken by the Anunnaki to Sirius B as Tiamat healed and recovered from these cataclysms. Their home star Sirius B, later, they claim was attacked by the Anunnaki by the grandmother ship Nibiru, draining their star. They were forced to relocate, where they made a pact, deals with the bad Draconian Reptilians, the Anunnaki's arch-enemy. The Draconian Reptilians gave them refuge, as overseers in their farm galaxy, the Aldebaran. The Draconian accepted them because they had the same roots and origin from the old planet Meldek. This is how they connect with the Draconian and become known or mistaken as Aldebaran reptilians or lizards. They swore revenge on the Anunnaki. They begin mixing and crossbreeding with the Draconian reptilians and other Aldebaran species, creating 2 to 3 subspecies. These became known as your drones, workers, and warrior class races of their clans. The elite class engineered them to be just a little smarter than a chimpanzee to keep them as a controllable servant race. They can range in height from 12 inches tall to 6 feet tall. The elite class from 6 feet to 12 feet tall. They have red, black, green to pale-looking skin with no scales on their face. Most of the elite race have smooth skin like dinosaur skin, and some of the warrior clan have hard scales. Some of the queens have hard scales on the back of their hood, which is like a cobra. They can also be classified as a fraction of the Nomos. Most of the high-rank Vril have long necks. The longer the neck, the higher the rank. Some of the elite male have a fin or mohawk-looking hair blade starting at their forehead going down their backs. Some of the older ones have freckle-colored skin. One of the sub-races, the 12-inch tall ones, are really your blood-drinking mosquito and crab crossbred race of aliens. The subspecies could take hosts and began taking over the Aldebaran hybrid pale human race in the Aldebaran. The elite class didn't take hosts, but later developed over time the ability to shapeshift. They also wear human skin suits. Soon after, the Aldebaran star began losing its power as well. They suspect that the Anunnaki had something to do with this as well. As their star faded, they faced extinction, but they chose survival, launching a desperate exodus across the stars. They were not explorers but conquerors, seeking a new world to consume and parasite off of. Their journey was long and silent, their civilization reduced to arcs drifting through the void. When they found Earth, they saw a planet teeming with life, perfect for infiltration. They also saw the children of the Anunnaki, who they hated with a passion. Their arrival was secret, burrowing into the planet's crust, drawn to the darkness below, into the advanced cage system their ancestors had dug. Here, they established a hidden empire, watching humanity's evolution with cold, analytical eyes. They learned our weaknesses, our desires, our fears. Humanity became the perfect raw material. Our bodies, their vessels, our world, their new home. The children of a dying star had found their new sun, the soul of humanity. Their process of replacement began, slow and relentless. We became the prize, and the Vril, the patient predators, had arrived. Deep beneath the surface, in a realm of eternal twilight, the Vril built their civilization. The hollow earth is not fantasy. It is their domain, vast caverns glowing with strange energies. Here, they mastered the force called Vril, powering their cities and linking their minds in a collective consciousness. Their society is a hive, united in purpose, devoid of empathy. Females rule with absolute authority, keepers of Vril law, and strategists of the long war against the surface. Their young hatch from huge eggs. Males serve, their roles defined by obedience and genetic utility. For centuries, the Vril slumbered, not in peace, but in preparation, studying us, mapping our societies, waiting for the perfect moment. Scouts walked among us, learning our ways, identifying targets. They made pacts with secret societies, trading forbidden knowledge for access. Their underground empire is a staging ground for our demise. The time of slumber is ending. The awakening has begun. There's a major secret that has been kept by members of the so-called Illuminati for more than 70 years, a secret of such great importance as to affect the lives of every man, woman, and child on the face of the planet. In order to fully understand this secret, it will be necessary to return to the events of post-war Germany following the end of World War I, where in 1923 Hitler was named the leader of the new Nazi Party. Following a failed attempt to overthrow the federal government, Hitler was arrested for treason while awaiting trial in Landsberg prison. He read Edward Bulwer Lytton's The Coming Race, 1871 novel. Thrilled by the power of the coming race, and about a master race of beings who call themselves the Vril. They claim to be the descendants of the inhabitants of ancient Earth, with access to an extraordinary force called Vril, an unlimited source of energy that supplies all their needs and can be controlled at will. Hitler believed the novel to be true, and once made Chancellor of Germany, he would send teams of spelunkers into caves and mines all over Europe searching for the Vril. He dispatched regular expeditions to Asia, especially Tibet, where Nazi explorers made significant connections with influential Tibetan lamas who had expert knowledge about the underground tunnels and cavern systems around the world. The legend was these Tibetan lamas guarded a secret entrance to the inner world known as the Red Door, hidden within the Potala Palace in the mountain city of Lhasa. Potala Palace is a museum complex in Lhasa, the capital of the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. It was formerly the winter palace of the Dalai Lamas. Once a Nazi-Tibetan alliance was formed, the Lamas agreed to share with them that for centuries they had been helping to hide an indigenous race of lizard living deep within the planet, since prehistoric times known as the Vril. It seems that these lizards knew the location of an abandoned military base dating back from the time of Atlantis, filled with ancient aircraft weaponry and technology, hidden within the tunnels and caverns of Antarctica. The lizards had no use for the tech, but they were willing to trade for something else they wanted. The lizards were carnivorous and preferred to consume fresh human flesh and human bodies for parasitic hosts. And so a deal was made. The Nazis got the ancient Atlantean tech and sold out the human race, but according to sources, this is not the first time Vril lizards have interacted with humans. For centuries, royalty, powerful heads of state, and trusted religious leaders around the world have kept a secret pact with the malevolent lizards. World leaders would receive valuable resources buried deep within the planet, such as gemstones, gold, and other minerals. And in exchange, these leaders would conceal all evidence of the Vril from the surface population, making sure no one would learn of their existence. In addition to helping them hide real lizards, required that they be provided with a steady supply of humans to consume. However, keeping the secret of Vril not only refers to hiding the lizards and denying their existence, but also refers to an even bigger secret being a parasitic race with the unique biological ability to invade the human body and take over the brain by accessing their memories. In the subterranean cities, Vril society is a cold, efficient matriarchy. At the top are the females, larger, stronger, and deeply connected to the Vril force. Their authority is absolute. Their thoughts commands to the collective. They are the planners of human infiltration, weaving conspiracies that span centuries. Males are smaller, less psychically attuned, and exist in servitude, their worth measured by physical prowess and bloodline purity. Selective breeding enhances their parasitic abilities, preparing for the day they reclaim the surface. There is no love, only biological imperative. Individuality is contemptible. Every Vril is a component of a larger machine, synchronized through telepathy. They cannot comprehend human emotions, love, compassion, sacrifice. Their society is ruthless pragmatism, utility in service of the great plan. This hierarchy is their weapon, the engine of their patience. United and unwavering, the Vril are convinced of their right to rule. Deep beneath the earth, the Vril-ya harness a mysterious force called Vril, an energy flowing from the planet's core sun, powering their cities, technology, and even their bodies. It grants them longevity, psychic power, and the ability to control minds. Vril is their greatest secret, and their ultimate weapon against the surface world. The lizards, for all their power, envy humanity. They crave our creativity, our bodies, and our souls, desperate to escape their own primitive forms. Their greatest secret, a deep sense of inferiority. They need us to become more than parasites, believing they can be better humans than we are. And they will stop at nothing to take what they desire. The Vril's kiss is a violation of the highest order, a surgical strike against the soul itself, known as droning. The Vril lizard approaches, its grotesque proboscis, the quill, emerging to transfer its consciousness. The quill, slick and alive, touches the human eye, spiraling around the optic nerve. A viral cocktail is injected, the venom of the soul. The human is now under attack from within. When the Vril's parasitic fluid invades the brain, a chemical war begins. The victim's soul is slowly consumed, memories and identity stripped away, until nothing remains but an empty vessel. The Vril lizard takes control, wearing a human mask, while the true person is gone forever. After the soul is extinguished, the body enters a recovery period. The physical trauma of the droning process takes its toll. The human host will often appear ill, weak, and disoriented. This can last for a few days or weeks, a necessary downtime as the Vril consciousness fully synchronizes with its new body. The eye that served as the entry point for the quill is often permanently damaged. It may appear different from the other, discolored, misshapen, or with a strange, unfocused gaze. This subtle asymmetry is one of the few physical tells, a permanent scar from the soul's murder. It is the mark of the Vril, a sign for those who know what to look for. Once recovered, the drone awakens. It is a new being, a human body controlled by a reptilian mind. While it retains the memories of the original person, its personality is fundamentally altered. The drone is often incapable of understanding complex human emotions like empathy, sympathy, or love. It can mimic them, sometimes convincingly, but it cannot feel them. Sarcasm and dry humor may go completely over its head, a sign of its alien, literal-minded intelligence. The drone is a hollow echo of a person driven by a new and sinister set of motivations. Its former life is now just a cover story, a role to be played. The new consciousness is ruthless, psychopathic, and driven by base instincts. Drones are slaves to the Vril agenda, but they are willing slaves. They find pleasure in perversion, sexual deviancy, torture, and self-gratification. They are a part of the demons that religious people speak about. Their only true purpose is to serve the Vril's plan for world domination and to help create more drones. They have no compassion, no morality, only a cold dedication to the hive. They infiltrate governments, corporations, and religious institutions, acting as the eyes and ears of the underground empire. They are the perfect spies, hidden in plain sight, wearing the faces of friends, colleagues, and leaders. Other physical traits are reported to emerge over time. Drones, both male and female, often experience premature and rapid hair loss. Their skin may develop more anomalies, like moles, tags, and age spots, as the alien consciousness struggles to perfectly maintain the human form. Some reports even claim the parasite affects the host's biology down to the genitalia. These are the walking dead among us. Some say they have infiltrated over 3% of the world's surface population. That's about 240 million drones walking among us. They are not zombies or ghouls, but something far more terrifying. Perfect replicas of people we once knew, now animated by an ancient, malevolent evil that hates us, envies us, and wants to wear our skin. The Illuminati's darkest ritual isn't just about power, it's about infiltration. Through a terrifying process called soul scalping, Vril lizards replace influential people, ensuring absolute loyalty. No one is safe. This silent invasion is the true secret behind their global control. The Black Eye Club, an unofficial mark among the world's elite. Politicians, royals, and celebrities appear with black eyes, almost always on the left side. This is no coincidence. It's a chilling sign of a secret ritual, a mark of ownership. The sheer number of elites with this mark reveals the terrifying scale of their infiltration. The Vril lizards seek total world domination, not by open war, but through a silent invasion. Their plan is to replace key leaders, hollowing out our institutions from within. Each puppet in power brings them closer to control, while humanity remains unaware of the alien hand guiding our fate. Some say it's disturbing to look at them talk to you. They are capable of talking with humans. The drones are very creepy before they take human hosts. The Vril come up from underneath into the deep bases, and they hang out at the cloning stations with all the clones on the cloning floors, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff to them. It's really hell. There's a stairway leading to their underground cave systems. They walk right up, and they sit around in the stands with the clones. It's very sick and grotesque. Some clones or elite humans who haven't been droned yet don't like sitting near them. They smell funny like urine, and they're really creepy looking. They sit on the other side of the cloning stadium. They fight each other like putting on a show and have the clones sit there and watch. They're perfect human killing machines. They use people in torture spectacles. They chain them up. The Vril and human elite get like aroused there in the stands at watching it. The screaming and rape, the lizard Vril really love it. It's like music to their ears. They have built-in sonar. They're real sensitive to sound and light because of their subterranean trait, like trolls. They're really paranoid, parasitic creatures. Psychologically, they are really cowardly. They sneak around in the dark, using weak humans to help them. They are in fear of being seen or discovered because they are not really supposed to be here. They are breaking galactic laws. They are religious parasite, psychologically hiding in the shadows. Once it's proven, you will see them in real form on television, in the streets, and then people will know what the Vril really is, and that they are here to parasite off the human population of Earth. The Vril are one fraction of the Brotherhood of Darkness, which Tahuti warns about in his Emerald Tablets. They are in part responsible for the destruction of the island of Atlantis, which was an advanced power station. Legend tells they lived in advanced civilizations that existed in the Atlantic Ocean in advanced dome cities. The Vril hosts, who are Bodysnatchers, infiltrated their way into positions of power throughout Atlantean culture, some say 24,000 years ago, where they destroyed them from within with advanced weaponry, causing cataclysmic flooding and earthquakes. Vril lizards often infiltrate human societies by targeting individuals in the ruling class, royalty, or priesthood. Once they are in positions of power, Vril lizards attempt to convince the humans to worship them as either gods or demons, something to be feared and obeyed without question. As gods, Vril lizards will demand human sacrifices as a show of loyalty and devotion. In these cultures, it was considered an honor to be body snatched and be chosen to become a god. The people didn't understand the biological nature of the takeover of the brain and thought it was some kind of mystical or magical transformation, as the demons Vril lizards were deeply feared. Old legends warned travelers against going into certain haunted caves and mountains, and to beware when darkness falls, as this was the time when demons would creep about stealing babies and livestock. When Vril lizards would body snatch a victim, the person was later said to be demon-possessed, and various means would be attempted to drive the demons out. Many cultures around the world attempted to limit Vril lizard infestation. Most Earth-born tribes at some point start sharpening pointy sticks. For example, the Hopi Indian culture successfully drove off Vril lizards, while the ancient Anasazi Indians of New Mexico were forced to leave behind their elaborate cliff dwellings in order to relocate far away from nearby Vril-infested caves throughout history. The lizards stayed hidden underground in dark caves and tunnels. Trying to avoid discovery, some royal families kept Vril lizards as pets and used them to instill fear in those not showing the proper loyalty to the crown. Some world religious leaders also knew of the lizards, had secret alliances with them, and agreed to help them. In the 1940s, a secret pact was forged between the Nazis and the lizards, making them mutual allies. The conditions of the pact required directing tremendous resources to assist the Vril lizards, including the building of deep underground military bases worldwide. This would allow the lizards a way to interact directly with humans, which in turn would permit the massive government-sponsored body snatching so prevalent around the world today. If we can assume that all of this is true, that body-snatching malevolent lizards have infiltrated human society and are replacing us one by one without raising any alarm, one might ask, wouldn't someone try to tell people and save humanity? According to some sources, President Ronald Reagan tried to warn the public on numerous occasions from 1985 to 1988 in an important speech to the United Nations General Assembly on September 21, 1987, at the height of the Star Wars space race with Russia. Reagan mused in our obsession with the antagonisms of the moment. He said, "We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside of this world. And yet I ask, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our people than warn the threat of war?" The Illuminati forgave Reagan's comments at first after they shot him. Ronald Reagan was shot during his presidency on March 30, 1981, by John Hinckley Jr. outside the Washington Hilton Hotel. A bullet grazed his rib after ricocheting off the limousine, and he was rushed to the hospital for surgery. Reagan didn't get the message, and he continued to talk about aliens living among us. They blew his mind and called it Alzheimer's. Let's talk about how the lower class look. The little drone race, who are 12 inches and some shorter. They have red scales, and there's also some with black scales and black skin. They have scales up and down most of their arm and most of their legs. Their stomach is a little bit exposed. They're usually red pale in skin tone. There's also black ones as well, and their face is scaleless. Looking at them, they can pass for a mosquito race of insects. It appears that their masters recrossbred them when they arrived on Earth. Most people say they look pretty gross. They have weird insect claws coming out of their mouth. They have eye steak like a crab. A proboscis is an elongated appendage from the head of an animal, typically a long flexible trunk or snout in vertebrates like an elephant, or a tubular feeding organ in invertebrates like a butterfly. It is used for functions such as feeding, drinking, smelling, or sensing. Mosquitoes have a proboscis, which is their specialized mouth part for feeding. This is a complex structure composed of 6 parts. The maxillae and mandibles saw into the skin, while the labrum acts as a channel to suck up blood, and the hypopharynx injects saliva. While both sexes have a proboscis, only the females have a needle-like proboscis capable of piercing skin to feed on blood for egg development. Males use their proboscis to feed on nectar, the insect from the stalk-eyed fly, family Diopsidae. Some beetles, like the eastern-eyed click beetle, also have prominent eye spots that look like eyes on stalks, but these are just markings, not actual eyes. Yes, many crabs have eyes on stalks, which is a common and defining feature that allows for a wider field of vision. These stalks can be retracted into protective sockets in the carapace to shield the eyes from damage or sand. Their pupils are usually green. Their entire eyeball is usually green and black. They kind of look like crustaceans. They have claws. They have a small claw and a big claw, kind of like a lobster. There are about 3 types of these things. Some that live underground and can live in water, and they're about a foot tall. They are huge fleas or locust. They like music like heavy metal and punk rock that the humans make, which have mostly been droned already. These things are really horrible. They don't really have enough intelligence to have compassion, love, or interest. They just live. They just exist. They breed. They're asexual. They have female parts and male parts. They are your original gargoyle, who later mixed with bats and gained wings. These are the ones used to create drones by their elite high masters. The Vril are architects of chaos, sowing division and fear to weaken humanity and control us from the shadows. Through media, finance, racism, and engineered crises, they keep us fighting each other, blind to our true enemy. When we beg for order, they'll step from the shadows, offering peace at the cost of our freedom. The Vril's endgame, a one-world government where humanity is reduced to a managed herd, individuality erased, and freedom silenced. Our world becomes a planetary plantation ruled by cold alien intelligence. This is the Vril's vision, orderly, silent, and forever under their control. The shadows are growing longer. Beneath us, an ancient evil waits and watches. The Vril are real. The Bodysnatchers are here, wearing the faces of our friends and rulers. We sense something is wrong, but the truth is monstrous. Our spirit and compassion are the light they cannot extinguish. The darkness is here, and it is wearing a human face.